361 Corpus Christi, Texas here. So in this video I'm going to show you the logging software that I like to personally use. It is called winlog 32, and I'll have a link in the description where you can directly download the software straight to your computer from the link, so you don't have to worry about going to different websites or different Google Drives or GitHubs or anything like that. You can directly download it from the link that I'll have in the description. So in this video I'll show you how to go through the settings and actually set up the software, because it is kind of tricky. It took me about a week the first time, so I'm going to make it real easy for you. So for the first time, once you open it up, you're going to right click and you're going to run it as administrator. Then you hit yes, and right here where it says first time user, do you want to make a first log? And you're going to click yes, because we want to use it for logging. So you hit yes, and then you're going to enter in a call sign. It doesn't have to be a ham radio call sign. It doesn't look up on databases or anything like that. So I like to use the sign or the name that I use on the 11 meter or CB band, which is 361 CCTX. And then you're going to hit OK. And it will load everything up for you. And then up here you have your times and your UTC and your date, and then you have your log right here, and your database control is right here, and then you got your search options right here. The prefix I usually like to take out. I like to use the call sign search and the database. So I usually always delete that one out. So here you can put in a call sign that you don't know if you've actually talked to or not, and then it will automatically pop up right here in the search page that you can see it, which I'll show you how that works. So right off the bat, we're going to change the time here. So the UTC is 7 o'clock, and right now it's 9 o'clock, so we're 2 hours ahead. So we need to go over to options, and we're going to go to settings. Then we're going to go into time here, and where it says offset from UTC, we're 2 hours ahead, so it's going to be positive 2 hours. And if you're behind 2 hours, you would do a -2. And so now you're going to click save, and you're going to hit OK. So it has updated here the correct time. You got the UTC time here, and you got the military time there, and the date right there. Now next thing you're going to do is you're going to go into settings again, and you're going to go with the date here, and you're going to see if this is checked out or not. So you're going to make sure this is checked, because if it's not checked, it's not going to actually populate your date on your actual log. So then you hit save and you hit OK. So right here next to date, you should have a green light, not a red light. If you have a red light, you have an issue. Just uninstall the software and delete the winlog file in your C programs after it's uninstalled the program, and then reinstall it again, and then you should have the green light right here. So now we have the time, we have the date on there. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go into file, and you're going to hit new log, and we're going to have this here. We're going to make a new log. I like to make my log names on the radios that I'm actually talking to, because now I have two different radios. I have a Striker 955, and then I have another radio. Now on the other radio, it's a new one. I haven't made any videos on it or anything. Nobody really knows, unless you've heard me on the CB bands, what radio I have. I will be making a video here shortly on the new radio that I have. So for right now, we're going to make a log for the Striker. So you're going to click down here into where it says log right here, and then you're going to highlight the actual name right here, 361 CCTX, or whatever your database name is. Then you're going to highlight the log right here, and you can name it whatever you want. I'm going to name it Striker 955, because that's the radio I'm talking on. So now we're going to add that log, and then we have it right here. So before we can delete that log, we have to actually get out of this log. How you get out of that log is you're going to go to right here, and boom, right there. So it's flashing right here. So that means that it hasn't loaded one yet. So you're going to hit load, and it will load the Striker 955 log. Now we're going to delete this log here. So we're going to go back up to File and New Log. We're going to highlight our database. Now we have our 2 logs. We are in the Striker log right now. So we're going to highlight the log, and we're going to go ahead and delete it. And now, for example, let's say you have another radio. Like, for example, one of my radios is a Uniden. I can't remember the model number. We'll just say Uniden. And then we're going to hit Add Log. So we have the Uniden log and the Striker. So there's those 2 radios. And now we hit the drop down here, right here. We got to update the database. And now we can pick which log that we actually want to do. So let's say we're getting a contact on the Striker. So we're going to load that up. And so let's say your contact, you got me as a contact, 361CCTX. So see how the start time and the end time, the date automatically popped up? That's what you want. Now we're going to go into options and settings. I think it was in. And go to page view, and right here where it says ET time, that's end time. You're going to click that and click save. Then we're going to hit OK. And so now what we're going to do is we're going to go to end here. And we're going to highlight that. And we're going to hit the X here to delete the QSO. Now it should update with the start time and end time, which it didn't. So let's just go back into our settings and see if it actually stuck. Page view. So it didn't stick right there. So again, right here we're going to hit save. Hit OK. And now we're going to close out, and hopefully it's stuck. This is the tricky part. It's actually getting the settings to stick. See, it didn't stick. So for some odd reason, it won't let us do that. Alright, so it won't let us do the end time, which is weird. Let's go to maintenance, end time, no errors. Alright, so 361. So I guess you can't do end times. You should have an ET time or an E time pop up right underneath S time, and it will automatically tell you when your ending is, hopefully. So CCTX, and then your band here is going to be whatever megahertz you actually talk to me on. Let's say you talk to me on channel 38 and you talk to me on lower sideband, and I say you did 50 watts. Now report out is the conditions you're given to the station. So if I'm asking you for a signal report and you tell me you got me out of 5.6, so that would be the report conditions out. And then if you asked me for a signal report and I told you your signal report is, say, 5.5, you would put a 5.5. And then on remarks, what I like to put is basically I try to get the weather, try to get the radio they're talking on, and then I usually try to get the operator name as well. And then we hit end. Alright, here's the end time right there. So they changed it with this update, so it's not over here anymore, it's actually right in here now. So you can go up to each one that has these, and you can actually move them around to actually line them up for you. And these here, I don't care about those, so I just move each one of those all the way over to the left. Alright, so we got that. And now let's say you talk to someone else. Let's say 749 Corpus. And let's say you talk to him on 27.405, which is channel 40. And let's say you talk to him on upper sideband. And then let's say you turned on an amp and you talked to him with 260 watts. And let's say he came through nice and clear out of 5.9. Since you're using 260 watts, you should be out of 5.9. And let's say it's 75 degrees, and let's say he's talking on a Cobra radio and he's mobile. And then you get a operator name and you hit end. And you move the name over. Alright, so you got start time, end time, you got your modes, your power level, and your remarks on it, and the username. Now, for the search here, we can do, let's say that you weren't sure who you actually talked to. You can go over here where it says search call sign, and then just type in 361. And it pops up right here on the bottom window here. And let's say you talk to 458 and not found, so you haven't got that contact yet. So you can do your searching right here. And now we are going to try to change the settings right here in the band and the mode and the power, if it would let us. Last time it wouldn't let us. So we're going to go back up to options and go into settings. And we are going to right here, we're going to left click and then right click and remove each one, because these are megahertz that I don't talk on. And you can't add your own band or anything like that. These are the only choices you get, so I just delete those and I just keep this selection blank. And then we're going to hit save. And I see it took those out right there. That's good. And now we're going to take out CW mode, because we don't talk on CW. We don't talk on FT8. And we're going to add the AM band. And once you add it here, you have to hit enter. And then it will tell you right here, you want to add the mode. You hit yes. And then we're going to hit save. And then on the power, we're going to take this out, this. Alright, so now we're going to hit add power. And for the barefoot radio on the Striker, it usually does an average of 50 watts. So we're going to do 50 watts. On the new radio that I have, which I'll do a video on later, it does an average about 67, 68. So I'll just make it easy, we're going to call it 80. And then if I'm talking on the amplifier, I can do 260. And then you hit enter. And now we're going to hit save. And that changed right there. That changed to a 50. That's good. And then we're going to take all the E's out. I know what these are for, but I'm just doing logging. That's all I need is just for logging. Alright, now we need to know if these actually stick. So now we're going to close it down again. And we're going to open her back up. Yeah, see, it didn't stick on that, so you're going to have to leave that there unless it actually sticks on your computer. But here it doesn't stick with me. It changed everything right back where it was before. So unfortunately, that sucks. So we're just gonna leave that alone. So that's pretty much everything now, I believe. Let me just run through everything, make sure we didn't leave anything out. We don't check settings. Do I leave anything out in settings? No. Alright, so hopefully that was pretty easy to follow. And oh yeah, once you're done, if you want to back up your stuff, you can go to export right here, then you go to log, and what you're going to do is you're going to do a ATIF full, and then that will export your entire log file onto your I believe it goes to your desktop, and then you can take that file and you can upload it into another logging software or online database or something, and you can back up your actual log files. And then if you need to import one, you just hit import, and then you can tell it where you actually want to upload it for the import. And then when you import and export, it will tell you if there's any duplications or any errors, and if you want to keep the duplications or if you want it to automatically delete the duplicated contacts. But if I talk to the same person on different days, I want to have that contact there. So I usually tell it to keep all my duplicates and don't erase them. So that's winlog 32. And hope everything was easy to understand. And if you have any questions, go ahead and put a comment in the description, or put a comment down below, and I'll go ahead and address them. This is 361 waving 73s.